Hi everyone, it's Rax. Not everyone is super excited about Diablo 4 Season 3, but there are some people still playing it and they're starting to enter the end game. And when you do that, you're going to notice that you're going to start to get vault keys along with your Nightmare Dungeon keys. Now, after you run a couple of vaults, you're going to notice that you can spend some resources to get a buff. And at the end, if you still have the buff up, then you're going to get to open a bunch of chests. So the logical question might be, what's better to run, vaults or nightmare dungeons, and what exactly is the best strategy? Well, one of my buddies, Karn was the world first level 100 in hardcore on the launch of Diablo 4, by the way. Big PoE player too. Anyway, my buddy Karn was chatting and he said, you want to know what I think is the best thing to do, which I am agreeing with him on, is actually just to blitz through the vaults and completely ignore all the mechanics that they have built. And after doing a little bit of research, I do think the vaults actually pay better than the nightmare dungeons on average. So I just wanted to show you real quick kind of the very hilarious kind of new meta thing to do in the end game when you reach there. And this is a way to level up your pet. You will level it up faster if you actually use the mechanics and go slower, but you go so much slower that you would be costing yourself so much XP and items and stuff that I don't think it's worth it. So let's jump in here and let's use our 2 elixirs. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a vault and we are going to just pretend like we're doing a nightmare dungeon. So you're going to notice I'm going to pay no mind to paying the fee to get the extra buff stacks. I'm not going to dodge any traps, nothing. You just run through it and act completely normally. Another thing that you're going to be seeing me playing here is the new charge build with the new charge power. Do you see how it makes like a whole wall of charges? It's really great and it's really fun. So if you guys want, I'll make a guide for it for you tomorrow to show you how to play it. I'm combining it with Hoda, and my Barb feels like an absolute god. My Barb doesn't have great gear at all. I just hit World Tier 4. I'm only 78 because, as you guys probably saw, I died on my 61 Sorcerer to a bug, which it looks like Blizzard not only fixed, but they also nerfed the damage of the mob entirely. So hopefully no one's going to die to that again, and who knows, we might even spawn the boss in here. Okay, so you finally get into the vault. Here's where you're supposed to pay for buffs. Nope. Forget it. Just keep on going through. Now, when you do acquire, like, when you start to get pretty powerful and you start to acquire a lot of the buffs, then at that point, maybe you can do a few runs in the end where you actually pay attention to the traps. Here are the traps. Look, just run straight through it. It doesn't matter at all. We don't have any of the buffs. We're not worried about it. Just keep on blasting. The density in these vaults is actually pretty good. And I didn't do the normal massive amount of testing that I normally do. Normally I'm the guy that runs all the dungeons and theory crafts all the numbers and tells you exactly this is 7% better than this or that or this or that. But I did do a little bit of that, and it does seem like the vaults are better than nightmare dungeons. So the main problem here is we want to be doing the vaults, but if you pay the fee to dodge all the traps, then you really have to play very carefully, otherwise you miss out on all the chests. So the answer is just to completely ignore it, and you will get one chest at the end. Watch this. Just run straight through. It doesn't matter. You get hit by the traps, it doesn't matter. You got 0 stacks. You're not losing anything anyway. Okay, so we finally get in here. Another problem with the vaults, and it's not unique to vaults, it's just a problem with Diablo 4. I've mentioned this like a million times, and I hope to God Blizzard changes this, is the transitionary events, whatever you want to call them, in the middle of dungeons, they don't actually pay you anything. They don't pay you any XP, they don't pay you any items, they don't pay you anything. It's literally just there to, I don't know, kind of test you and waste your time, I guess. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you here in a second. It's kind of weird. When you get to the final room with all of the traps and you're fighting all of the elites, you're doing like the hardest thing by far in the dungeon, and it's the only thing in the dungeon that pays you literally nothing. It just, if you succeed, you simply get to go to the next room. And a lot of people were actually surprised to learn this. A lot of people in my chat today didn't know that, but it's actually been like that for almost every single transitionary event in every single dungeon in the entire game. So here we go. We're in the final room. Look at my XP. 6302. 6302. Okay. So normally you would have to dodge all the traps and you'd have to be really careful. Okay. So you see I'm killing a bunch of monsters. I'm surviving. There's 15 seconds left. Let's check the XP. 6302. I haven't gotten any XP. The monsters aren't dropping any items. You don't get any items. For by far the hardest test of the vault, you get absolutely nothing for succeeding. You just get to go to the next room. Okay? And that's it. When you get to the end, if you had paid to save up all of the extra stacks, then you would be able to open these larger chests and get more rewards for your pets, which we already made the video. It takes forever to level them up anyway. But with 0, you just open just this chest. And you do get 1 tuning stone. You get some pearls, which you can use later to buff it up when you want to actually feel like trying and juicing it up. And you get to level up your glyphs. That, I think, is by far the most efficient thing you can do. You can just run through it. The density is really good. The XP is pretty good. The items in the end and throughout the thing, except for in that room right before, are pretty good. It does let you get 1 tuning stone every time you go through, which is going to level up your pets a little bit. This might be copium. Blizzard did make a tweet. They just had 1,900 layoffs today, but they did make a tweet saying that they're listening to feedback, and they did say there's at a minimum going to be a mid-season patch. But I have a feeling that they're hearing the dissatisfaction with the pets. I would imagine that they're going to get buffed. So if you do put in a little bit of time to level up the pet here, probably right before the gauntlet, I would imagine that they're going to actually buff the pets. So it might be worth it. That might be copium, hopium, whatever you want to call it. That's fine. But that, I think, is the most efficient thing. You plug the vaults, and you just ignore the entire mechanic. Go to the end. Don't try too hard in the end room because you get nothing for it. Open the 1 chest and be on your way. I'm going to use this strategy to fly finally to 100 tomorrow. I've been taking it easy since my sorcerer died. I kind of stopped caring. But I will prepare this barb fully, getting ready for the gauntlet, and we'll see how that goes. Thank you.